Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to the Rosalie Elliott Show. We go all around the world to explore music, psychology, and so much more. I'm honored you're here. Click the subscribe button if you're new, and let's dive in. It's time to check out more Ren, a song called Lost All Faith. I've been sleeping on this song, so I'm excited to check it out with you. Lost All Faith. Here we go.
Mate, I'm in a bit of a rush right now. You're a sick guy. Thanks, mate. You're a sick boy. I've got to get out of this train, mate. I'm really sorry. I'm talking to you. Hey, can I get a quick picture, mate? Nah, mate, I've got to go, mate. Just a little cheeky little picture, buddy. I've really got to go, mate. I'm sorry, mate. Come on. Fine, quickly. I knew it was you. I'm a charming fella. I like drinking cans of Stella. See, I'm living for the weekend. Bag kebabs and salmonella. Cinderella story raps the richest minute full propeller. I'm Nigella Lawson stacking mozzarella. Only joking, I'm an introvert. Alone inside my room because my insides hurt. I contemplate existence with consistency in my polo shirt. Then reassert my confidence with compliments I don't deserve. I calm my nerves by plotting for the day that I might leave this earth. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Pain is my shepherd, my sword and my shield. I find my refuge in patience and pills. A patient is patiently waiting for help. I don't ever seem to feel well. Can anybody save me from myself? There's blood on the leaves where I fell. Coming down. Burn the border, sons and daughters, law and order. Crave disorder, praise more selfish ways have come too late. I've lost my faith.
I am.
You've awoke a beast. I'm a geezer on the streets. Mona Lisa, this is art. Make her Mona Lisa, she needs money. Eeny, meeny, miny, Mohammed, Abi Ali. Pleased to meet you, mate. Who's the G? Not me, an irregular guy. Halitosis with psychosis, omens etched in my mind. Overdosed on pills and potions, a collection of mine. Split a Valium with a Zanny and I mix it with wine. Hey, pull yourself together, mate. Pull your socks up, stand up straight. Look at you, you're such a mug. God, you're such a fucking stain. Honestly, I wouldn't be seen dead with you in public. Depressed and disorderly, it's like you fucking love it. Mug. Maybe you're right, maybe it's friend. Do it again and again and again. Maybe I'm high, maybe I'm meant to live in a cycle of anti-survival like man. In a prism like Ben, shot the iris of the land. Make believe and play pretend. God's my witness at the end. With God as my witness, I walk through the valley of the shadow of sickness. I fear no evil, I need no forgiveness. Deliver me from temptation, he never listens. I don't ever seem to feel well. Can anybody save me from myself? There's blood on the leaves where I fell. Coming down. Burn the border, sons and daughters, law and order. Crave disorder, praise more selfish ways have come too late. I've lost my faith, I've lost my faith.
Could you be the one? Yeah, no, could you be the one? Yeah, no, could you be the one? Good, could you be the one? Yeah, no, could you be the one? Yeah, no, could you be the one? Yeah, no, could you be the one? Good, could you be the one?
I lift up my eyes to the hill. Pain is my shepherd, my sword and my shield. I find my refuge in patience and pills.
Could you be the one?
This is nuts. Ren, I've been sleeping on this track. Where have I been? How did I miss this? Shout out to Chris Lipa. Check out his YouTube channel, vocal coach, vocalist. Offers awesome courses. I got an interview with him coming very soon where we spoke about this briefly. Not the song, if you will, but how, he reacts to various things. And he mentioned this song and put it on my radar. And I went, I haven't listened to that one yet. Let me check it out. And I'm glad that I did. This is from the Sick Boy album. And I'm impressed. The musical composition of this track is lit, from the beat to the switch in flow. It's a track that there's some of his tracks, some of Ren's tracks that are so artful and intricate that it's not something that I would just jam out to as I'm driving. It's more this experience, right? This song is poignant and powerful, but it's still the kind of composition that I would just have blasting and just jam to, just that's what my car sounds like. No, I'm just kidding. And totally just jamming, right? Put the lyrics aside for a second, because if you dwell on that, that's way deeper than just cruising. But the beat, the composition, the melody, the hook, jeez, the lyrics, and then the lyrical video, by the way, super catchy, super well done. I mean, amazing, artistic, from the mouthpiece and the echoing and the font and the flashing of the elements. Really, really good. Obviously, I feel like one of the most poignant and powerful, I said that twice already today, parts of this song are what he is are the lyrics right here. To say I'm a bit of a rush right now, that intro of somebody trying to catch him with a selfie because they recognize it's him saying, I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Oh, you're a sick guy, fam. You know, like, you're the dude from Sick Boy. And that interaction, I think, sheds light a little bit on what it's like now to be famous and to have that type of exposure. That dance, though, however, with fame and humanity, he's got to go. He has a train to catch. He's still a person going places, but he also doesn't want to be rude. This person's saying real quick for the Instagram. It does shed light a little bit also on our tendency, perhaps, to idolize people, to want to have a selfie with someone famous that we've put on a pedestal real quick for the Instagram, because we find our worth in a lot of these things, wanting to get likes and clicks and views and get people to see that we were in touch with the special one, right? We idolize people and they become our God to a degree sometimes, where now we feel like we've touched something holy, something sacred and special. This intro and this dialogue between him and a fan can also perhaps be reflecting on how we view people. Oh, you're sick guy fam, right? You're the guy from Sick Boy. Perhaps also shedding a light on how we place labels on people and how we relate to people. We put labels on them. We associate people with certain things, and that's who we now see them as, or that's the lens we look at people through, or ourselves, right? We now become one or the other thing. You know who I'm talking to. And so it continues. Can I get a quick picture, etc.? And then it goes into the rap part where it speaks of a charming fella drinking cans of Stella. Great rhyme scheme, cool, catchy, very relatable to many people, right? We know of the drinks. We know of trying to be charming, of living for the weekend. That's a human experience here that he's sharing with us. People's favorite drinks, living for the weekend, going through the 9 to 5 during the week, bad kebabs and salmonella. Oh, it makes me miss Germany. Döner kebab, right? Those kebabs, bad kebabs and salmonella, getting sick from, that type of stuff. Cinderella story, rags to riches, spin it full propeller. I don't know who that one was or who that person, that reference was. Nigella Lawson. I hope I'm saying that. Oh, she's a food writer. Aha! Brilliant. Okay. What did he say? Stacking mozzarella. Okay, so funny, catchy food references here. Only joking, I'm an introvert. Okay, so he's painting this picture of the fun guy who was getting sick, having drinks, hanging out, from rags to riches, right? That Cinderella story. He was nobody, now he's somebody. He had nothing, now he has it all, right? Only joking, and I'm an introvert. And here's that switch to letting us in on what's really happening behind closed doors. Alone inside my room because my insides hurt. This is to me is a meaning here of you hurting inside, people that have mental struggles, mental illnesses, and Ren has his story and his share with that too. But then also his insides hurt. Literally, his body is hurting. And right now we know that he is recovering from being in the emergency room and that he is on a health plan to try to get things back in check. And Ren, if you're seeing this, I want you to know we're thinking about you. We're praying for you. We care for you. My heart hurts with him and with many people who are sitting at home, who are hurting physically, mentally, and emotionally. I contemplate existence with consistency in my polo shirt. That's a very poetic, catchy phrase, but also that beautiful rhyme scheme and the alliteration between contemplate and consistence. Reassert my confidence with compliments I don't deserve. Wow. The authenticity and honesty of this guy is so refreshing. I reassert my confidence, right? I build my confidence back up. I reaffirm through compliments I don't deserve. So he's getting all these compliments, right? Fame will bring that. He feels like he doesn't deserve them. He's really letting us in on this is what's actually happening inside. I calm my nerves by plotting for the day that I might leave this earth. Ooh. That I feel like, right? It's very self-explanatory. This next part was beautiful. I lift up my eyes to the hills. That's a quote from Psalm 121, where it says, Shia lama alot, esainai el heharim me'ain yavo izri. That's Hebrew for I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? And it continues and actually says, Ezri me'im Hashem ose shamayim va'aretz. I lift up my eyes to the hills. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. And it's a beautiful poem that is this idea of I'm looking up and my help comes from God. But now here he continues and says, pain is my shepherd, my sword and my shield. Also biblical references here because the idea is supposed to be also in the Psalms that God is our shepherd, our sword, our shield. So not only our comforter, our shepherd, but also the defender, right? In its situation of war and opposition and pain. Supposed to be your sword and shield. I find my refuge in patience and pills. And this is also the interesting double entendre because he is a patient, but patiently waiting for some type of help. And so here, this harsh but honest contrast to say, no, my help isn't coming from, my shepherd isn't God. Where is he? It's the pain. I don't ever seem to feel well. Can anybody save me from myself? And this is very honest. And this takes a lot of courage. When I heard the title, when I saw the title, heard the title, Lost All Faith, I was very intrigued because I have seen death, I've seen pain, and I have experienced losing or almost losing all faith. And even still, my faith shifting. And when you have based your entire identity on, say, for example, faith or your religion or relationship with God, and then life happens and a lot of that is shaken, or you come to a point of questioning many things that were a huge integral part of your upbringing and who you are, that shakes your identity like very few things will. And it's not just about a minor little identity crisis or a couple of questions of faith. Well, I kind of question this or that. It's not even about the small theological details. It's about concepts of life, philosophical, theological questions. And Ren strikes me as someone who really thinks deep. He's a very intelligent person. He seems very well-read. He is very open-minded. That makes him so endearing and intriguing because he's not just talking fluff. He has experienced it. But he also continues to want to learn and understand God and question things. Even his earrings, right, in real life, but even in the lyric video, cross on one eye, the ring on the other, right? There's, to me, almost a symbolic message of, I'm open to faith, I'm open to things, I'm seeking, I want to understand, but no, there's also no easy answers, and no, I don't see God in none of this, but also I'm not going to say there is no God, but also, like this, even in his attire, there's, to me, a duality of wanting to know and understand. And for different reasons, that will deeply affect people. For some of us, it's because faith ties into our identity. And there's this crisis when we come to questions that there are no easy answers for. And you start learning about history and you start doing scholarly research. And it's like, oh, crap. They lied to us. Something's not adding up here. For others, it might be, as with Ren, health crises where you cry out to God, where you hope for healing, and you're either being gaslit and told that this is not really a problem, or you're being played by pharmaceutical companies and doctors in the mental health field, or you are simply feeling at a loss because nothing's changing. This pain is your daily reminder that you may be alone, and that's very, very hard. So to say I'm looking for that day when I leave this earth as that possible way to calm your nerves, right? Almost as if death is going to bring some peace. That's so sad. That's heartbreaking. But to also say, I don't ever seem to feel well is a very honest assessment to say, I am not okay. This hurts. This is not easy. This is not a man going, I've been through some hard times, right? But he's living his best life in the castle. And what does he know, right? We see that. We see people who want to speak on injustices and they're living in their $1 million mansions and they want to speak on behalf of oppression or racism or injustice, but they're living their best life and they're better off than most of us. And then you have those who truly are hurting, who may not have the platform to say, hey, I'm hurting and this is what's been going on with me. You have someone like Ren who's honest about it, even though he has the platform now. There's blood on the leaves where I fell, coming down. And here the composition, the notes, the rhyme schemes, and the beat were fire, but also very poetic and artistically painting a picture of what this suffering looks like. Burn the border, sons and daughters, law and order, crave disorder. Here, awesome rhyme again, awesome and poetic, but also perhaps tying into I've lost all faith, even when it comes to politics and people, right? We have all these borders, burn them down. We're all sons and daughters. We're supposed to all be children of God. Law and order, right? This craving disorder. I feel like maybe shedding light a little bit on some of his own tendencies and questions in regards to craving disorder, right? He wants to be the rebel. He wants, to ask questions uh, and there is no easy order to everything. Everything's a mess and wild and there's questions everywhere, but also perhaps calling out politics and how we as people are setting up all these borders. We want all this order, but we crave disorder. We're constantly looking for some type of destruction. Maybe another way to interpret that. Praise my selfish ways. I've come too late. I've lost my faith. You've awoke a beast. I'm a geezer on the streets. Mona Lisa, this is art. Make her moan. At least she needs my meat. Eeny, meeny, miny. I wish I could say that he threw that in there as a little shout out to me. Most likely not. But I've in the past, joked about how simple rap is beyond just eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And there's art. No, mine has usually been shibbity bibbity bop or something like that. How that, rapping is art. It's way more than that. So, my wishful mind is like, oh, that'd be so cool. If he's like at some point referring to my silly attempts at rapping. But honestly, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, we know this as a child game rhyme. Mohammed Albi Ali. And that's interesting too, right? Ali Mohammed, right? Boxer. Pleased to meet ya, mate. Who's the G? Who's the greatest? But also maybe who's God, capital G? I don't know. But who's the G? Who's the greatest? Not me, an irregular guy. Oh, snap. And that's interesting too, right? It's not me. Who's the greatest? I'll be Ali, but who's the greatest? It's not me. And instead of saying I'm just a regular guy, he's saying irregular guy because things are not regular. They're not normal. Halitosis with psychosis, omens etched in my mind, overdosed on pills and potions, a collection of mine. Splitting a Valium with a Xanax, I mix it with wine. Pull yourself together, mate. And now there's almost this dialogue again, right? And the voice of aggression and passion, the voice of a polite Ren trying to, excuse himself from his fan, the voice of the more mocking like, right? Which is really interesting even there, how he adds different connotations to his voice, giving it a completely different timbre and therefore a completely different message and emotional effect on us too. Pull your socks up, stand up straight. Look at you. You're such a mug. God, you're such a effing state. So that criticism again of get your act together, right? Make yourself presentable, right? Reiß dich zusammen. Get your act together. Pull yourself together. Honestly, I wouldn't be seen dead with you in public, depressed and disorderly. It's like you effing love it. And here again, that criticism of not only perhaps internal, but also what the world will see. If the world truly saw him in his weak state, would people say that? Would people be like, I don't want to see you in public? It's like you effing love it. Right? Now perhaps really playing mind games on himself or on the evil voices playing mind games on him as if to say, you must love this. You're doing this on purpose. And that to me also ties into perhaps when people who are really hurting are gaslit and told, you're just exaggerating, you're faking it, when they actually really need help. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's Ren. Do it again and again and again. So he goes through all of this in the cycle of anti-survival. Amen. And the prism light bends. The poetry, a little science lesson here too. In a prism, light bends. Shut the iris of the lens. Sheesh Louise. But also maybe on shutting the iris of a lens like in a camera. But also the iris as in our eyes, shutting it. Make believe and play pretend. God's my witness at the end. And that's interesting because when you're shutting your iris, when you're shutting your eyes, make believe, play pretend, God's my witness at the end. Maybe implying prayer here. God's my witness. With God as my witness, I walk through the valley of the shadow of sickness. And here, instead of the valley of death, like we see in Psalm 23, calling it the shadow of sickness. I fear no evil. I need no forgiveness. Deliver me from temptation. He never listens. And there's a lot of religious references here. This is the prayer in the Bible of deliver me from temptation, deliver me from all of this. He never listens. And now even here, being honest about that faith struggle, I've lost all faith. God doesn't listen. I don't ever seem to feel well. And then it goes back to the lyric, to the chorus. Burn the borders, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I find my refuge in patience and pills. Could you be the one? Could you be the one? And that final question is heavy. That final question is heavy and poignant to me because it really breaks it down to that point of saying, could you be the one? Could you be maybe the remedy or my savior? Could you be the one who has the answers? Could you be the one who can fix this? That's how I interpret that. And that is heavy. That's heavy. That type of pain and suffering. And I empathize in my own way with that place of feeling like you've lost faith, not having experienced what Ren has. And I hurt with him and with the suffering he has to go through. And I know he's not alone, though. I know there's many of you out there who are going through really hard times, be it chronical, be it chronic pain, be it an ailment that hasn't even been diagnosed yet, be it a diagnosis that you now have to live with. That's hard. It's beyond having a sickness that has a cure. When you have something where there's no cure for, where you have to ongoingly find treatment or medication, and then you add, depending on where you live, the dilemma of accessing medication and a remedy or surgery or finding a transplant. But that doesn't just go for physical ailments. This also goes for mental ailment. For those of you who have anxiety or depression, who've been diagnosed with OCD, and I don't mean OCD in the sense if you like your pencils in order on your desk. I'm talking about compulsion, obsession, intrusive thoughts. There are those of you out there who struggle with depression, and you have to choose every day not to give up. And I want to let you know, first of all, that I'm proud of you. If nobody has told you today, I am proud of you. And I want you to know that while there is no easy answer, I can't wave a wand and say, just have faith, just believe, and it's this God or that God, it has all the answers. No. Sometimes it feels like God's not listening. The temptations keep coming, the pain keeps coming, and maybe you ask, what's the point? I am choosing to believe that there is a reason you are here. I can't tell you the specific reason. I do believe that if you're breathing, you are a miracle. Scientifically, one in trillions of a chance that you would even be here. Biologically, scientifically, faith aside for a second, it's crazy and miraculous that you were formed in your mother's womb and that you're here breathing and thinking. And if you are still breathing, my friend, your time's not up. There is still a purpose. You were created. You are meant to create, whatever that might be. Even if all you can create today is taking a breath and just make it through the next 5 seconds. And then the next 5 seconds after that. Maybe it's writing down your thoughts, putting it on paper. Maybe it's writing a song. If you have a song in your heart, love, write it. Maybe it's a poem or a story. And I encourage you not to listen to those voices that want to tell you you're not good enough or you have nothing to give. You might be the saving grace for your next door neighbor because you smiled at them or you asked if they needed help. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of healing. I know you are loved. I know your life has purpose. And so I'm asking you not to jump. I'm asking you to choose life, to make it through the next 5 seconds, and the next 5 seconds after that, you have a purpose. Ren is moving forward. He doesn't give up. He has saved many lives through his honest music, through his authenticity. And you are just as valuable and just as special as Ren. You too have a message for somebody. You might save one life, you might save 1,000,000, but we need you. I hope you're listening to me. And if you think this is a coincidence, and I don't think it is. Even if it was the YouTube algorithm that shoved me in your face and you clicked and you listened this far, thank you. But I don't think it's a coincidence. I think you need to hear this, that you are loved, that you are seen, that you truly matter. That's not just a t-shirt slogan that sounds nice. You actually matter. The space you fill is so freaking precious. So create something today. Make something beautiful. Use your senses to experience life in this present. Leave the past. Don't worry about the future. Be present right now and take a breath. Smell something, taste something, feel something. Be. Remember, you are loved and you do matter. I'll see you on the next ride. Ayo.